All right, guys, it's your girl, Miss Fab Financial. And 2 weeks ago, it went down. Our first empowerment workshop, financial empowerment. We learned budgeting and money management, which is super important, right? Learn how to manage your money on a budget. I don't care if you make $20,000 or $200,000. The issues were the same. I don't make enough money. So the next one is coming, right? You asked for it, and here it is. It's going down April the 13th. Click the link below. Get on the list. It's live and it's free, right? So get your name on the list. Click the link somewhere around here, and I'll see you at the next one. The business part of it, if you're like, I'm going to start a business, how do I start working on my business from the beginning and not in it? You have a very unique opportunity to scale and grow very fast. So that if you have a W-2 job, if you have investors and you have money, right, that you're like, hey, this is the thing, I want to start from the very beginning, you're at a great advantage, because what you could do is you can start putting the people and the processes in place, right, that you don't have to then get in the weeds and then pull yourself back out. Yep. You can go, all right, well, guess what? I'm going to open up. I had a client, not a client, but she came to the financial empowerment this weekend. And she initially was like, hey, I got a W-2 job, but I make $75,000 a month in my hair business, right? And reinvested everything back into it. She just was saving it because she lived on a budget off her W-2 job.
Smart.
She didn't go crazy and go, oh, now I got my W-2 job and the additional $7,000 in income.
$90,000 a month.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's up.
She had discipline and was like, "What? This is something here, but I don't want to waste this opportunity." So she's now going into real estate. She's now going to go into opening her salon. And now when she opens her salon, she doesn't have to be in it every day. She can come in and do her heads and then hire a manager right from the beginning.
And if she can still work a job to generate that type of income, I would milk it as long as I can.
Absolutely.
I would milk it as long as I can.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the power that people don't really realize that we have. I think that in this day and age, if we seek...
Sorry, not to cut you off, but because the goal for most people is the stuff. They say they want generational wealth.
Have no substance.
Right. They say they want the generational wealth. I want the money so I can they have financial freedom. Yeah, but the financial freedom comes with a certain amount of discipline to withstand buying the stuff. Yeah. That doesn't get you closer to the goal, the stuff.
Yeah.
So most people lack the discipline to go, all right, well, I am going to then budget my happiness.
Yeah.
Every time we get this or that, I'm going to budget out my happiness, right? Okay, I want to go on that vacation. Well, if we do 20% over last year's numbers, I'm going to go on that vacation. That's how I'm going to reward myself as the owner of the business.
I'll be looking
right?
at it.
You can't go, well, money's coming in and I'm going to just keep rewarding myself because it's going into my account. No, Fortune 500 companies don't work that way. Now, their bonus and structure is high, but you don't get nothing without getting something. Those companies don't just give bonuses out. It has to be based on revenue and numbers hit and goals hit. And you need to do that for your business.
The bonus is coming out the money you just have to make.
Correct. So if I'm a business owner, I'm a CEO of my own company. I just can't keep dipping into my profit without any consequences. There has to be a reward there. You know what? If we do 20% over last year's numbers, or you could do it every quarter.
Yeah.
If we make this quarter, then I'm going to go on vacation. Or I'm then going to treat myself to the car because I can afford it. But what happens is, we don't have a money coach. We don't know. Money's just coming in. We're like, I can afford it. I got it's $10,000 a month came in. Okay. We're not planning nothing out.
And the thing that I love about money and business is
we just went all around the corner, but
I mean,
we're coming back.
We still on the same subject. Work on yourself, right? So the thing I like about it, like I watched the episode from Earn Your Leisure when they interviewed Barbara Cochran, and one of the things that she said was she was like, "Listen, I was a waitress." And my boyfriend introduced me into real estate, and she built the company up to where she sold it for $66 million. And they was like, well, how did you know to sell it. She was like, this was before MLSs, all the other stuff. She was like, we would do the spreadsheet, and they did the numbers one day, and she figured out that she was like the number one company in New York. So she was like, it's time to sell. And sold it for $66 million. So they was like, what'd you do with the money? So her reaction was she had $66 million, and she was like, she held on to the money for a while. So like, she was like, still to this day, I still have some of, I'm still working off some of that money from the first sale from way back in the day, because she understood how to make money, but she didn't know what to do for her money to make money. You see what I'm saying? And she had to reinvent herself to do that.
Right.
And so when you speak about the financial coach, like I know it's a vulnerable subject. I know it's a touchy, you got to find somebody you can trust, but find somebody you can trust fast. Give somebody a little bit and see how they manage it. And then before you give them a lot, right? Don't just open up your doors.
Yeah.
But we got to really,
and you have to be open to that, to the criticism,
yeah,
for people to help you. You can't give people half of a story and expect them to write the rest of it. You got to give them all of it. Give them the introduction and give them
fight your fight with one hand tied behind my back.
Help me help you. Right. So, and I think, just bringing it back to the subject, working on the business is a part of self-assessing, knowing your numbers, and knowing when to bring in people and places to help you push it forward, right? And always coming back to remembering your goal. Why? What's your why? Why are you doing what you do?
Yeah.
If you just want to make cakes, you're like, I just want to make cakes. Then you need to hire the visionary, right? You might need to hire your assistant. You may need to hire the COO, and you just do the thing that makes cakes, right? You might need to bring in a marketing team. And most of us just can't get to that spot.
Yeah.
We really
But you
can't.
gotta, I think that a lot of that is I'm heavy on working on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you either have to do it beforehand or parallel, but as you work on your business, I would say you still have to spend twice as much energy working on yourself, your own personal development, your own business acumen, getting in the right rooms, the right environments, around the right people, because those are where those ideas about working on the stuff will come. And then the more you expand your mind as a learner, the more you know, like there's so much stuff you don't know. So it always keep you humble in the fact that you could learn and teach at the same time. A lot of successful people still learn and teach at the same time.
Very true.
And throughout this whole journey, I can bring it down to 3 lessons that's working on your business and on yourself. The first will be Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said, listen, you could work hard on your job and make a living. He said, but you could work harder on yourself and make a fortune.
I know that's right. Go ahead, Jim Rohn.
Right? Like, so that's, and I'm like, you know what I mean? When you take that in perspective, you're like, okay, cool. The next thing was Marcus said you can't build build a business bigger than you build yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to look at everything like real estate, relationships, business, all that stuff, right? Specifically fix and flips. A lot of us probably want to go to stuff that's ready made. That's why you get a job. Oh, before I jump into that, the job thing. If you work a job, so 4 lessons. So if you work a job, I think that the job in today's world, we really should be just trying to seek a skill. You know what I'm saying? Like if I work in corporate America, I should be trying to learn a skill that keeps me in the trade, right? To learn the ways of corporate, and I still do something on the side to build a business up, whether that's real estate, whether that's investing, some stuff that you can do on your own that kind of reinvest my money. And I'm still seeking hierarchy, meaning you don't have to work a job making $20,000 a year. You can seek the job that's making 50, tech that's making 80, corporate that's making 100, 200, 300. But on the side, you probably building a real estate portfolio, and in over 20 years, you would 20-year success.
Absolutely.
Or I'm learning options, trading, forex,
and that's
whatever
planning.
that looks like.
That's planning and thinking, right? And so
learn the skills from the employee, leverage the employment.
You have to be a planner. You have to think it. And so if you don't get anything else out of this episode, you got to understand that you have to think. You have to take time and think yourself out of or into something, right? And so
you can no longer just act without thinking.
No, and last week it was really pivotal for me because I also went to ET's Forward, and he talked about, we always pray and ask for the exit strategy. God, get me out of this. Get me out of that. But we never ask for the strategy to go into. Get me out of this, but help me get into the next thing.
And through it.
Right? So I want to come out of poverty. Yeah. I want to come out of the hustle and bustle, but help me get into time management. Help me get into being more disciplined with my money. Help me get into what is the entry strategy.
That's so funny.
Right? I need the exit strategy, but I also need an entry.
To get somewhere else.
Right.
Get somewhere better. Right. No, that makes perfect sense. Because it's Ramadan, my prayers has been really specific. Like help me become the person to be what I'm trying to be. Versus like, I stopped the prayers of like, I want to have a multi-million-dollar business. I want to have this. I want my wife and family to do that. I started to ask for the strength to like, for the journey, the process. Help me develop myself. Give me your mind, your strength, your thoughts be my thoughts, your words, my words, so that I could be the person that I need to be to get the things that I want. Right. And so, and with this, like I'm starting to look at life like real estate. A lot of us kind of like go from, a lot of us are microwavable in a sense. We want to have everything ready. We want to jump into the business and it's already got customers. We already making six figures. We already doing this. But I think if we look at stuff like real estate, meaning I'll go buy a property for $50,000. I put $100,000 into the property. Yeah. Now the property's worth $900,000, whatever that looks like, depending on your appraisal.
That's a good ROI.
That's a good ROI.
Shoot, where they do that at?
Right. Right. Or
I know that ain't in Mississippi. No. I'm sorry.
If for sure.
I'm sorry. That was like low hanging fruit. I'm so sorry. I had to know. If you know, you know. If you watch the other episodes, you know what's happening right now.
You might get that close to, New York, but you're going to have to put a little bit more money down. Maybe $200,000, $300,000. Put some money into it and then flip. But to any event, right? If we buy a specific property at a certain price,
right,
we put money in it, meaning sweat equity, the money to build it up.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the other side is worth way more. So we have that equity to always pull from. Mm-hmm. So now it's just like with anything, right? Listen, don't try to find a relationship that's like you think you're going to get married and everybody y'all cake and cookies and cream.
For sure. It's a process.
It's a process to build up that equity into it. Mm-hmm. So one day it rewards you. Right. Same thing with business, same thing with life. So I think if we go in there like that, the personal development will be key. Yeah. The daily disciplines and routines.
You made enough deposits that when you need to withdraw, you got some money.
You got some money
you got
to
some
withdraw.
Money. Yeah.
Right. I can when I'm ready to exactly. And so when we deal with personal development and working on your business, don't look at it like it's a expense. It's really necessary.
No, for sure.
It's a necessary thing that you have to study to get better, be prudent at your job. Not only do we work on ourselves with people, processes, and things, we doing personal development, right? And on top of that, we are also studying in our industry to figure out what's going on so we can know when to pivot, right? And so all of that counts. So make sure you take the time to work on your business. Set some days aside.
And I really value my time a lot more. And so I'm like, okay, what do I have to do so I don't have to do this again? How much money do I need to make to pay for this person to do this thing that I no longer want to do? I am back in that era. I am like grinding it out because I don't want to do any of the stuff that I'm doing now anymore.
Like if you take the like 2 days to put it all together and then now package this up, who can I buy who
vigilantly moving forward to put in stuff that I don't have to do some of the stuff I'm doing right now no more. So that's one of the signs for sure.
2024.
That's right. That's some of the things you want to think about when you need to start working on your business. What are you doing that you don't want to do?
Yeah.
Find the person to do that, right? And even if personally you don't make as much money right now, it's going to help you make more money later. So you have to think forward. the seeds I'm planting today is going to bear what type of fruit forward. And so it is a thinking man's game. You got to strategize. You have to know your numbers, and you really got to get outside of your head, out of right now.
You
got to be financially disciplined to not upgrade your life. It's a lot, and we said a lot in this episode. So what I hope that you do get is that to work on your business and not in the business, you need to come up with a plan and a strategy. First and foremost, you need to know your numbers. Can you afford the thing that you're saying you need to do? You can afford it. The money is coming in. Now, how do you put people in place to do it? To pull you out of the everyday thing of the business, right?
Entrepreneurship is a thinking sport. This is the for real analogy of it's chess and not checkers.
That's right. You're playing the long game here. You're playing the long game.
Yeah. So that's a wrap, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. We like the feedback. Keep asking the questions. Let us know, and we'll be here next week. See you when we see you. Don't forget to keep minding your biz. Hit that bell.